as I told, I hail from a middle class family where my pocket money was like 15 rupees per month. And in my school, I had all my friends who had like home computers, were from actually well-off families. They used to exchange Need for Speed CDs in front of me, and I didn't know okay, what this was. And I felt that, okay, I also need to show off to my friends, and I was always treated as odd man out in my school. And I thought, okay, probably the only way is to visit an internet shop in my neighborhood so that I could upskill myself and I could have some knowledge on the internet so that uh, I could speak in the same wavelength as my friends in my school. But I realized that if I had to go to an internet cafe, it used to be about 100 rupees per hour, and the pocket money I had was 15 rupees per month. So I'm not someone who saves the pocket money piggy bank for 6 months and visits the internet shop for actually for 1 hour after 6 months. But I felt that uh, if I walk up to my dad, he would obviously say no, that, okay, so my paycheck would not allow me to actually to buy you a home computer or to have internet connectivity at home. So you need to find your own ways. And so it happened that when I used to cycle back home, I landed up at an internet cafe, which was in a neighborhood. I realized that it was not open from approximately 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. in the afternoon because the shop owner had to shut down his shop for his lunch break. And I looked at it as an opportunity, and I went up to the shop owner. I asked him if I could operate the shop when he goes for his lunch. In exchange, I would want to use the internet for free of cost because my school was over at about noon. So at my home, I had to indicate to my mother that I had joined NCC practice. And after a few days or after a few months, when we had the parent-teacher meeting from A+, it started to become B in some of the subjects. And finally, my mom realized that we had no NCC in the school at all. So that's how it got started. So it was a barter deal with the internet shop owner. He felt it was an awesome deal having this high school student to manage a shop when he goes for his lunch. In exchange, I could manage the internet cafe. So in the same process, probably the only ambition I had in my life was to buy a home computer so that I could show off to all my friends that, okay, I've got a computer as well in my home. And so this internet shop owner was my mentor. He started to advise me that, okay, you got open source, you got ebooks, you could start learning how to build websites. So you could start building websites for my friends who are NRIs in the US, and you could make some money as a freelancer, and you could save that to buy a computer. I thought, wow, it's an awesome deal. And I listed myself as a freelancer in some of the marketplace websites on the internet. Over 6 months, I had the skills to build a website. I had to learn it on the ebooks, and finally, I had one of these American companies called Network Solutions Incorporated. Currently, they are acquired. So they sent me an email saying that, okay, we are looking to offshore some of our projects to you guys. So would you please send me your CV? And I'd never made a CV in my life. So I went out to the internet. I was in my 9th grade in the school. I went out to the internet. How does a CV look like? I was really surprised because the first page was you need to fill up the academic qualification followed by your skills and hobbies. So I felt that, okay, uh, if somebody is employing me or if somebody wants to use my skills, it's because of my skills and experience and not only because of my academic qualification. But I didn't want to mess around with the format of a CV, so I started to fill it up. I fill it up saying that I finished my 9th grade in CBSE board with X percentage. And I realized that my second page, where I had to fill my skills and experience, was actually filling up the whole A4 sheet. And I sent the CV to this company. The project manager replied that, oops, I realized that you're still 14 years, and I don't think you still have a mustache in your life, so we don't want to work with school kids. So it was my second to experience the word no. And when they indicated they can't work with me because of my age, and they felt insecure to work with somebody who's not got a mustache, which was my age. So I felt that, okay, in such a case, I would do something in my life where I'll no more send CVs, but I'll start receiving CVs. And that could only happen if you're an entrepreneur. So that was a moment in my life where the fire in my belly ignited. And I thought it's more fun to be my own boss than actually mailing up the CVs, incrementing your CVs, and sending out to others. So I realized that in fact, second rejection in my life was my age, because according to the Indian laws, the ROC would not allow you to start your company if you're under 18. So And at the same time, I hail from a family where, again, entrepreneurship was a sin, so I couldn't ask for my family for help. So I had this internet shop owner, again, Shubdev, who was like my mentor. So he advised, why don't you start looking to start a company in the US as a S corporation company in the US? And I felt it's an amazing idea, so I did some search on the internet. I felt that incorporating S corporation in the US was absolutely seamless. Like if you have 5,000 rupees and have access to internet, we could incorporate an LLC in another 15 minutes here. So I felt that it was absolutely hassle-free and seamless. So we uh, I decided to start my S corporation company in the US. I needed an apartment address. I needed a physical address in the U.S. I had a friend whose name was Sam. I had met him on the internet, so I requested him if I could actually use his apartment address to incorporate this company. So we finally had this. We finally had our organization up and going on. And the best part was I was in the final year of my schooling, which meant the board exams. So in a 10th standard of the school, and I finally failed in one of my preparatory exams, that was mathematics. And so when I actually failed in this exam, we had the parent-teacher meeting, and the first reaction of my head teacher was, okay, your second son is horrible compared to your first son. At least your first son had all A+. So I've got an elder brother who was always a first bencher. So he's somebody who is who always secures A+, but I started to become as an opposite. So my mom was like absolutely freaked out. And as soon as I entered the house, her first reaction was, which you can expect from any kind of a South Indian moms, are, okay, first you swear on me saying that you'll not go to that internet cafe again, and you'll focus on your board exams. And my spontaneous response to my mother was that the world's richest man, Bill Gates, has not completed his education. Like, you know what, Amma? There is one guy called Bill Gates. He owns Microsoft. He's the richest man on the earth. He's not got education qualification, so why should I? So my mom replied, saying that the horoscope of Bill Gates and also of yours are not the same, so you can't be as lucky as him, so you still need to study. And she told, okay, after board exams, you still could go to the internet shop and you could do whatever you want in your summer holidays. That was the first time in my life I ever used auto-reply mails or vacation response, saying that I was out on a sabbatical for a few weeks and I'm not accessible, so if there is any emergency, you could contact my friend Sam in the US, because as a CEO, you can't say you're studying for board exams. So yeah, we had the company up and running, and that was one of the probably understandings I had about business, saying that for an organization, it can never be a one-man show. It's important to form a team, and at the same time, of course, as an individual, you can ignite something, but of course, when you start a platform, you need to start inviting others. You need to invite your peers who could also share the workload as well. So it was one of the realizations I had to form a team. So I started to look out for team, and I had to interview some of the bunch of freelancers whom I knew from the internet. All of them were in about approximately 25 to 30 years of age. So I received all their CVs, because we had openings for approximately five software engineers who are able to help us. And we never had a physical office, so we expected all these engineers to work from home. Since we were an American entity, we had to recruit them from the US. We felt it's more easier. I interviewed one of these applicants, and I selected him, but the applicant felt that he can't work under a boss who is half of his age. So he was about to hang up the call, saying that, I'm not sure if you're very serious about your business, or it's like a friend's club or a hobby venture that you've started. So I don't think I could actually report to somebody who's half of my age. So he made a statement saying that I'm not interested to work under somebody who's half of my age. So he was about to hang up the phone call, but I felt that it's important for me to not to accept his no, and I requested that I would like to speak to you for a few seconds and explain to him that at least in our company, we'll have a flat hierarchical structure, so we'll not have a boss or subordinate. And in any organization, you can't have employees working under anybody, but you'll have employees working with you. So that's a message I made it to him, and he was on board. He's still on board. So that's how we expanded the organization. And when I was 16, this was quite interesting because, can I have some water? So when I was 16, so this was quite interesting. When I was 16, as an organization, we still used to build websites. So we used to build websites for the brick and mortar companies in the US. And I had this interesting American company who sent me an email, which used to manufacture automobile spare parts. It was in Michigan. They sent me an email saying that we are a 50-year-old enterprise in the US. And for past 50 years, it's a family-run enterprise. We've never invested on marketing because as it is, we are able to meet our sales targets, so I don't need to invest in our website. So whereas it is, we are quite happy with the business. So when I started to face this kind of responses from all my kind of sales emails, which I used to send it as a mail blast to my American prospects, I felt that if we don't do sales, the company can't grow up. So I need to find out with some strategies to scale up the sales. So I went to the yellow pages on the internet. I made a wild search called automobile spare part manufacturers in the US. So you have all the ancillary manufacturers in the US, and if they have a website, it shows up their website address. If they don't have a website, it only shows up their email address, which would be in one of the free email providers like Yahoo. I think from making about 5 websites every month, we started to build like 100 websites every month, and that's how we scaled up the company. It was a very simple strategy, but yeah. Complete the important part, which would end this session. So after I made 100 websites every month, we added more employees, and we scaled up. But of course, one thing which I happened to realize that I was still not happy as an entrepreneur, because I felt that okay, somewhere I have actually stepped out of the ethical fiber. So it was very important for me to make sure that. So it was very important for me to make sure that much better. So so I sent all of them an email saying that I'm the same guy who contacted you a month back, saying that if you had a website. So I contacted you by the name of Michael. So my apologies if it has caused you any inconvenience, but my only intent was to ignite you and to make you understand the importance of having a website. But I also mentioned to them that if it has caused you inconvenience, I'm willing to offer to build this website for you for free of cost. But internally in me, subconsciously, I knew that in case if one of these nasty American companies want to send me a legal notice, I was still safe because I was under 18. So I did make, all these companies appreciated because I was honest to them, and I could have as well been silent, but they appreciated the fact that I was honest, and they started to send me probably references of their associate companies who also needed to build websites. And of course, the last thing, which was very interesting, for main reason I don't have education qualification was, I went to engineering because I come from a family where education qualification was a must, because they have that stereotyping. They're in a mindset that if you've not got an education qualification, immaterial of your paychecks, immaterial size of your company, it would be hard for you to be married. So that was my mom's kind of myth. And they put me to an engineering school in Bangalore. So the irony was I was in my first semester, and my HR team, because we had already opened our Indian operations, my HR team used to recruit the students of my own engineering college at 6th semester. So I could skip away all the introductory session in the college because all my seniors were supporting me. And ultimately, in 4th semester, I was associated with World Bank for one of their ICT initiatives. I was so happy that I could make flights to Washington, but I realized that I had a severe shortage in attendance. So according to my university norms, you need to have 75% of attendance, and I had 75% of shortage. So I thought, okay, it's still my subject, computer science, I'll still make through the exams. So I met my HOD of my department, and his first reaction was, okay, you have a shortage of 75%, I can't issue your hall ticket. And I told, okay, I have this letter from the World Bank, and which is addressed to the HOD saying that we would request you to waive off on attendance. And my HOD looks at it, and his reaction was, I don't care if you work for State Bank or World Bank, as far as you don't have attendance shortage, we don't give you the attendance. So it was the last no I had to hear saying that he wouldn't issue my hall ticket, and I opted to become a dropout. As soon as I went outside my HOD's room, I had this young lecturer who walks up to me and he tells that, hey Suhas, I finished my MTech in this college and I'm also a lecturer, so I want to meet you in a staff room. I could see if I could help you with my subject, at least with attendance. I felt, wow, at least I have one lecturer who is willing to help me, and I followed him. And to my surprise, he tells that, hey, on your website, in the opening session, I saw there's an opening for senior software engineer on your company's website. This is my CV. So of course, like all the CEOs who do it, we had to say that, okay, I'll forward it to my HR team, and my HR team will take the call. So this is about my story, and currently we operate in approximately 14 countries, and we focus on education technology. Thank you.